Reach high, aim high, and obtain. 2 pounds of ground beef, 2 teaspoons of a salt. I used pink Himalayan salt, Celtic salt, or quality salt. Then 2 teaspoons of poultry seasoning, 1 teaspoon of sage ground up, then fine ground black pepper, 1 teaspoon, and then I did cayenne pepper here. It's not regular, but it's cayenne pepper. And I did half a teaspoon of this. And then we're also going to add my bread to create all this. So here you can see the results of my 2 teaspoons of salt, my 2 teaspoons of poultry seasoning, my 1 teaspoon of sage, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, and my half a teaspoon of cayenne. And we're going to put the lid on this, shake well, and that way we have now our added spices ready to go. So let's do next steps. These are pieces of my homemade milk thistle bread. Any of my homemade breads will work for this process. And I basically chopped them down. I mainly have a lot of the end pieces because I do have one family member that doesn't really like the end of the bread, so we cut off the crust for him. And because of that, I have more of those, but you can basically take the bread that I've made and you want to put it into a food processor. I'm going to use this little one just because I don't want to get out my really big food processor. Now, what you can do instead of this is use rolled oats as the replacement for this. But basically what we're looking to do is make 1 cup of this. And I'm purposely using this because this bread is safe for migraineurs and people that are looking to have gluten-free. And so that's how come I'm doing this instead of the rolled oats. And so we're going to do this real quick. And we are spot on for our 1 cup now of gluten-free breadcrumbs. So let's go to next steps. So what we're going to do for next steps here is I have my 2 pounds of the ground beef. I'm going to add the breadcrumbs I needed to that. Okay. And then we're going to top all of that with our spices that we shook together earlier to give it the wonderful flavor for these beef sausages. And then we're going to start working all of this together. And this is, I think, a great dish if you have any children to give them kind of like a finger, getting their fingers in it and getting familiar with cooking, because kids are very tactile. So I think this would be a great recipe to also have the kids be involved, because there really isn't a lot of heavy duty equipment. So this would be a great dish for anyone with children or grandchildren or nieces or nephews when they're visiting or when they're in the house, to really give them the opportunity to get involved with their food, which is wonderful. And I know that my nieces growing up, I cooked with each one of them. Me and my mom were actually the first people to cook with each one of my nieces when they were very young, and now they all enjoy actually cooking. And one is actually looking to become a chef because of that, and so she's planning on going into chef school for that to be her career because of the love and the attention that we showed them is involved with food. So getting them started early, I think, is a great way. So we want to make sure we get this all well incorporated. And I can smell the spices. It's absolutely flavorful. And this has actually been a family favorite, as my mom's been making beef sausages for my dad for years as like a fabulous breakfast item. And so I thought this would be a good add to anyone looking to have a healthy, nutritious, protein-rich breakfast, but also wanting to have something gluten-free and know every ingredient that is in their food. Now the other thing is now we got to move to next steps, because I think I got everything well combined now. Next steps, what we're going to need is a container to store the sausage in. And I love this German container because it's designed to push out the air, so it keeps things fresher. Stainless steel lid. Love this, and the fact it's glass, of course. So you need a container to put everything in, which is going to be this one. And then we need a press. And so I have two press options here for those of you that are interested in this approach. You can also use your hands, they'll be perfectly fine. But I like doing this approach, which is you can use, this is actually for hamburgers. Doesn't mean you can't use it for other things. And this is just a standard press with this nice grill. And I love this because I got this at Williams-Sonoma years ago, and I love rosewood, and it's got a rosewood handle on it. But what I'm loving for this is because it doesn't have the ridges that this cast iron one has, it means it'll give it a flat surface. But that doesn't mean you can't use this option. So I want to show you there are multiple options, and even your hand will work just fine to do the pressing. Now there are tools out there, like you can see here, which is an OXO dough scooper, but I found it really didn't work well for me in creating the beef sausages. However, you can use that if you want. Next is parchment paper, ideally without the non-stick coating. And I've listed you an example here where it says specifically that it's non-stick. You want to avoid those. Other option is wax paper made with beeswax. So the other thing we're going to need is parchment paper. And the important thing I do want to point out is you will also need a pair of scissors for the kitchen, because what I have learned, and this is, and my mom and me are both in alignment on this, is cut squares of parchment paper to put between each of the patties, similar to like getting pre-cut square sandwich cheeses or pre-molded hamburger patties, because then you can just easily peel out or remove only the amount of sausages patties that you're wanting. So that's how come these two have to have for next steps. The others are more optional, and you can do it however you want. So I'll show you both approaches, and we will do next steps. Okay, so use your hand, get some, make a ball. Now what you can do at this point, after making the ball, press it down, and there's your first patty. Now you can just lift it up like that, or you can use a bench scraper to lift it up. Either one will use, but you can make these as big or as small as what you would like to consume. So do be aware of that particular approach. Before all the sausages end up being created, this is when it's a really good idea to cut a square of parchment paper and continue folding it until you get just a little bit bigger than the size of sausages that you plan on making. And then utilizing kitchen scissors is cut along the folds of that parchment paper, and that will actually create really quickly the exact sizing that you need, and that way you're not having to stop in the middle of the preparation and creation of the sausages to make the additional parchment paper. So take the time, cut a few squares worth, And that way you at least have a starting point of one, lining the bottom of the glasses, you can see me doing there, and placing the first made sausage on top. But then also you've got your remaining pre-cut squares for doing next steps. Instead of using one's hands, like I just showed previously, one can also use a scooper, which I have here showing, and that way you can pick the size and it be a uniform, equal portions between all the meat. However, I did find that because I chose the larger size one, it was a lot bigger, and it actually long-term, I didn't like the result and how it was grabbing or not grabbing with the scooper. So for me, I just felt like using my hands ended up being the best results for me. But pick whatever works for you. A little bit bigger, but just shows you different options to get the result that you want. Utilizing the approach and the results that you're looking for that works best for you, this is when you will want to continue processing the remainder of the created meat sausage here and finish the bowl. And once that's been processed, then we will go to next steps, which is going to be cooking and enjoying it. This is a side image view of the resulting product with the layers of parchment in between each beef sausage to prevent sticking between the different patties made, but also this makes sure that you remove with ease only the amount that you want to cook and enjoy at that moment in time. Using the stovetop or cooktop surface and a cast iron skillet, I like to use about 1 tablespoon of organic salt-free butter, ideally at room temperature. And I typically use our butter that we have made here at the house, and I will include a link for that. Once the meat has been thoroughly cooked on both sides, then I like to add an egg, as you saw me quickly put together there. And we like to do an egg sandwich. But what we've been doing lately is my garlic sauce that I've also posted previously, we've been using in place of our historical mayonnaise, and has really enhanced the flavor of all of our sandwiches that we've been doing lately, because of not only the flavor from the garlic and the salt, but the consistency. We just are finding that we're enjoying it across the board, even with our homemade Big Daddy burger that I have made for my dad. He found that the garlic sauce in place of the mayonnaise just made everything across the board more flavorful. So that's what I've put on top of the slices of bread from the sandwich. And then we basically put the sausage on there, the egg that I scrambled after the sausage had been cooked, because I found that the sausage flavors will infuse the butter in the cast iron skillet, so that the eggs get that flavor from the beef and the fat that was in the beef, as well as the flavor from the butter, and it just makes everything across the board delicious. I then like to top that with cheese, ideally pepper jack cheese, because we like that little bit of spice on our sandwiches. Shredded cheese will work well, as I've done that too. And then putting any other kind of toppings that you would like on your sandwich, and then enjoying it. And because of this particular experiment I was doing with my bread, you can see it's not as tall as what it normally is. So I do want to caveat, it was an experiment that I was doing with the bread at the time, always working to improve and make changes for us and you guys. And so because it wasn't as tall, that's the only reason that I halved, as you can see here, the beef sausages, so that it would fit better on the sandwich for easily consuming and enjoying this fabulous sandwich that I created. So I did top this with the pepper jack cheese. Shredded will work just fine. Put the egg on top, added some tomatoes on the side. I just found on the side worked best for me long term, just because typically the tomato slides all over the sandwiches sometimes with sauces. So we will show you here the results, and as always, we got to show what my consumers like and how much they enjoyed it. So I will show you that next here too.
Mm.
Well, what do you think of the sausage?
Delicious.
And I purposely made it in the sandwich approach because Dad requested a sandwich. So is it good? Ooh, you want to take a bite of just the sausage? Because I see it sticking there on the side.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah?
That's excellent sausage.
Every single person who watches this video has the power to change someone else's life today. Subscribing to TaylorIt takes 1 second, but creates a ripple that reaches people across the entire world. Hit like, share this with someone who needs it, and drop your location in the comments because seeing where our community reaches genuinely excites us. Together, we are building something real. Join us and help others find this too.